Hi, Leo. This is Angel Aura Divination, and I'm here to give the sign of Leo a spiritual message to tell you a message from your guides. I'm going to try to keep this reading a little short, probably around 10 or 15 minutes. I'm using the Angelarium Oracle of Emanations, which is an oracle deck, and I'm also using the Wheel of the Year Tarot for the tarot reading portion. I'm using the Angelarium Oracle of Emanations for guidance on what your guide might be like or what they might appear like in the astral. So you might actually be an astral traveler here, Leo. Um, or you might have seen your guides with your third eye, that kind of thing. Um, Interesting. I'm just going to pray over the cards really fast, and then I'm just going to get right into the reading. This is going to be more of a channeled message. It might be a little vague because I've been doing these readings like as I go down the line. I started with Aries, and I just go down the line until I get to Pisces, and I finish, right? And I did Cancers. Cancer had a very vague, their guides were very like, it's a very simple message. You can't tell them everything that we're telling you. They're on their own path, whatever. And like, what was it? Taurus was kind of telling me a lot of information. I just thought it was interesting. Anyway, let me get out of my own, like, I'm not trying to tell you how I've been going through this. Anyway. Okay, and there I've prayed. So let's get into it. I already shuffled your cards before I came on the camera. Okay, you have Shakaya, the Angel of Silence, excuse me. The Angelarium Oracle of Emanations actually has a lot of different manifestations of different emanations, which are different points on the Kabbalistic tree of life. I'm not going to go any further than that, but they're basically like energy centers, similar to chakras, but not exactly. And they also have different angels and even archangels in this deck that are also being represented through the oracle cards themselves. So your guide is actually fairly quiet. This guide might have horns. This guide is very feminine. This guide might even wear a veil, or might be known to wear a veil or something on their head. They might even wear a headdress. This is a very etheric, I'm sorry, I just got a text. This is a very etheric being. It's a guide. And this guide could be anything that you believe your guides to be. This could be a deity, this could be an ancestor, an alien, if that applies to you. I'm not really going to get into it. I wasn't really connecting that deeply to them to actually tell you anything about them that specifically. I'm just kind of reading what I get off the card. Okay, anyway. Okay, because this guide also might they like it when you're in the mountains or when you're in the forest. They like it when you're close to nature, especially the more wild aspect of nature. They like it when you're in the environment, like the natural environment of where you live. So even if you do go out in nature, they don't really care for parks or public parks. They would rather you go to like a nature reserve or go to like they said empaths. I don't know what that means. Maybe you're an empath. I don't know. I'm just saying, and maybe they like it that you connect to like wild nature, wild trees and nature walks and hikes and stuff like that. That's actually interesting because I think I'm hearing birds sing outside, and it's like, I'm recording this, it's like 10 p.m. and it's dark. Okay, that's weird. Anyway, so they might even communicate with you through animals in the more wild aspect of nature. So maybe, and they're actually even showing me a fox. So this entity really likes it. The forest, they really like to be outside. They really like to connect to you when you're in that environment, when you're doing hikes, when you're going out in nature. No, but they don't like the zoo. They don't like the city parks. They don't like this guide is not going to send you a songbird in a parking lot. You know what I mean? This guide is going to be like, you need to go out in nature and go find the twigs and berries you know, and that's your message, and use that for your divination tool. You know what I mean? This guide is very, it's not, it's like, they're kind, but they're not super loving. Like they're caring. They care for you. They're kind. They are more of a friend nature than like a mother entity or like a lover, you know, or like even, and they're very feminine, but it's almost like more androgynous feminine. So this might still be a masculine entity for you as well. We have the first, okay, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So this might be a masculine entity or a masculine individual, especially if they were alive. They might have been assigned male at birth. Even if they were somewhat androgynous. This individual, if they were alive, they might have had a lot of money. Or they were just, or they might have given you a lot of money if you knew them. We have the Knight of Swords, so they might even connect to you through dreams, especially scary dreams, but they do that because they want you to really pay attention to what it is they have to say. It's not nightmares, it's just scary. It's scarier visualizations in your own dreams. So it might be something that you're afraid of coming up to you in your dreams or something like that, and they're just kind of like, that's me, I'm trying to tell you something here and you're not really listening to me, so I had to come this way. We have the Six of Cups. So this entity might have been, it might have known you in childhood, or might have known you in your past life possibly as well. Might have connected with you for a long period of time. They could have even been like an imaginary friend type of entity in the past, or might have come to you as an imaginary friend in the past, and now they're here as more of a guide, you know, and especially in your adult life. And they actually enjoyed that time period. They kind of miss it sometimes, but they also might think that you miss it as well, and they're glad that you have something to reminisce over. Okay, this guide, that's all we have for this guide, especially if you're an earth sign though and you're coming to this reading, Leo. You are going to be ascending in the material abundance that you accumulate in this life very soon, and that's going to be highlighted. That's this guide basically saying that you deserve nice things and that you're working very well when it comes to getting through your problems and really ascending through your own spirituality. They're kind of saying that you're even the chosen one in a certain way, and they are also saying that they're sending you signals and you need to pay attention to the signals. So if you, like for me, if I'm looking for synchronicities, sometimes I read license plate numbers, especially for number synchronicity specifically. I read license plate numbers. I'll check the mileage on my car because sometimes that'll send me a sign if I'm really in tune on that day. Sometimes I check, like I always pay attention to what time, like consciously look at the time, you know what I mean, and stuff like that, but not all the time. Like I'm not always checking my clock, you know. And that's how this guide might even communicate with you. They're very emotional, but they're not super like, they're not lovey-dovey. Like this isn't like so let's just say this was like a deity for you. This deity would not be a deity of love, or if they were a deity of love or related to love, it wouldn't be that kind of love where it's like romantic love. It would be the more like love of war, love of the self, love of money, love of abundance. And they're saying basically here that they want you to be more in that energy as well, where when you manifest through that loving emotion, that especially when it comes to developing finances or even your ascension, that you need to focus on your love of yourself, or focus on your love of what is it, or focus on your love of money, focus on your love of yourself. They don't want you to focus on your love of war. They might like that the aspect of you though that would appreciate that, or that understands that. So especially if you're going deeper into your spirituality, in the sense that you're trying to connect deeper to like who your ancestors were or something like that, they really appreciate that in you. I'm like, I get the vibe that I'm seeing this light move, but I don't know if that's just me in my mind or not. And I'm like losing my mind, but I'm trying to be cool. I'm trying real hard to be cool. Anyway, it's kind of late though, so I am probably just gonna cut these readings here. I'm just finished them in the morning or something, but wow. Okay. They also are wanting to say that you might need to focus more on eating more vegetables especially if you're not going outside. You need to do both. But anyway, that's all I really got for you. Hopefully this resonated. It was kind of weird. Like, it's a weird vibe. I don't know. This guide is kind of weird. Especially if you were like a loner in your life, like, or if you are a loner in your life, this guide likes that about you. They like that you're not orthodox. They like that you don't listen to, you know, a lot of the simple stuff about spirituality and things like that. So hopefully this helped you, Leo. Leave a comment if this resonated for you. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to the channel as well. And that's all I have for you. Goodbye.